Hello everyone, thanks for watching. It's me, Larry, and I hope you're all keeping well. One of the things I want to talk about and what was brought to my attention is somebody got in touch with me and they liked a particular story that I put out, and it's kind of when I was open and I was honest and I was talking about me, and I had sort of speaking about young black women and how they don't have to be a product of their environment, and their environment does not define who they are. But one of the things that was brought up in this conversation when she reached out to me and spoke to me is, what about this situation? What about your environment with people that are supposed to love you and care for you? Also, I'm going to say not supposed to, with the people that love you and care for you, unfortunately, do not recognize that some of the things that they do hurt you. Now, if you're not a black person and you don't realize that we come in various shades of color, and you are a black person and you recognize that this is, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, and you're also going to know somebody that may have felt this way, or know somebody that told you they felt this way. So here's what happened. She's a woman now. This is when she was a child. They had a family birthday party, which is great. Her and her sister are of a similar age. Her sister happens to be of a lighter complexion, and she happens to be of a dark complexion. I want to know what you think, because this could go two ways, but this has always haunted this lady that I'm talking about all of her life, because her cake was chocolate. Chocolate frosting is chocolate cake. The sister's cake, who was lighter, the cake was vanilla. Now, you might say that mom tried to kill two birds with one stone, which means she recognizes that everybody likes chocolate cake, but some people like vanilla cake. And maybe it was just as simple as that. Maybe she just wanted to have two different types of cake as she was celebrating two birthdays, so they weren't the same. That could very well be the case. But this young lady says, or this woman says, she's never forgot it. And it will stay with her for the rest of her life. This is a problem. This is a problem when you're with people that you feel love you, and you are now of a particular age, and you're still questioning why your cake was chocolate and your sister's cake, who was a bit lighter than you, was vanilla. I don't know. I'm going to go with the latter. I think that's how the cakes were chosen. I think the cake for the lighter sister was chosen because she was lighter, and the cake for the darker daughter was chosen because she was darker. This particular person had another instance in her life. This has always followed her. This is haunting her. So we've got the cake story, the vanilla cake and the chocolate cake. But then she has to go to school. So she reaches out to me. This is all in one conversation. She's giving me a few things. She goes, if you can if you want me to write something for you, you can't think of what you want to talk about next. I'm giving you 3 or 4 things, she said. So we've got this cake story. The second thing is, she goes off to school, and school is supposed to be a place where you're safe. Now, we both know, not we both know, I think we all know as minorities, it sometimes isn't a safe, it's supposed to be safe, but it isn't a safe place. Especially if you were bussed out of your area to go to make the numbers right at certain schools, which is what I had to do. Yeah, it wasn't always a nice thing, but she goes off to school, and she goes to this particular school, and a young man at her school, he always has the audacity to call her skillet. Now, the idea is that she's so black that she looks like a skillet. Skillet. So again, here we are, we've got abuse again in our black community, where a black young man thinks that it's hysterically funny to call this young lady at the time a skillet because her skin was dark. Where was he fed this negativity? It's what I want to know. He was fed this negativity that clearly there was something wrong with being black. I got news for you. I got news for you. It's a beautiful thing to be black. Whatever shade you are, I say the darker, the better. This is one of those things where I talk about us not reaching out to each other in our race, and how I'm not too bothered, or I don't get all shirty and messed up, because we've got about other races, not races, other colors of people, because especially particularly Caucasians, because we've got our own dramas right here. When another black person will refer to another black human being as a skillet, when you can't figure out why your birthday cake is chocolate and your sister's is vanilla, and that plays in your mind all of your adult life. That's quite deep. I think that's something to be considered. I think every time I get someone just gets in touch with me and they want to talk about something, it's usually about within the community. So I think as a community, we need to make things more clearer. We need to address these issues, and maybe we shouldn't have these conversations where we speak to each other in color. You know, like team light skin. That's a crazy one. That bugs me. That really bothers me. I've got somebody that I really like her. She's lovely, but she calls herself a yellow kid. We got to drop the tags. You know, red bone, red skin. What is all this madness? Because I promise you, and I'm getting so tired of saying this, it doesn't matter what bone you are, what shade of black you are. When somebody from another race looks at you, or from the Caucasian community looks at you, it doesn't matter what shade it is all black. So while you're there trying to put yourself one up on the other, you need to be doing more of this, putting it more together, because we are no better than the others. And another thing I don't like is when we go somewhere, we tend to think that we're that little bit better. Well, you're not. You're not the little. If you're not going back into your community and trying to do something and pull others with you, you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything to help the community. As far as I'm concerned, you're the problem. So if you don't have time to reach out, and you haven't opened your arms or your doors to another black human being, then you are the problem and not the solution. You know, I've lived over in England for 30 years now. My doors are always open. I've had so many visitors. I could have turned my back and said, oh, I live in England, and I don't want to be dealing with that anymore. But that's not going to happen. This is a way where a lot of my community, my family, and my friends can come and visit another culture and see something different. So I'm taking them with me. You don't forget where you came from. If you don't know where you're coming from, how do you know where you're going? So I think we should stop the foolishness with the colors within our race. And really, I'm going to say within our culture. I hate it when I drop that word race, within our culture. But what I do want to say is I decided to elaborate a little bit more because I wanted to share that story. So if you have a story or something similar to that, please let me know. You can follow me here on Instagram, and do tell your friends about me. It's on PTWR 2021. That's PTWR 2021 on Instagram. You can also visit my website, which is www.LarryHenryPuttingTheWorldRight.com. I also stream these videos on YouTube. So please have a look. Please send me your messages, your feelings, your experiences. If you have none of your own to speak about, but you know someone else and they don't want to say, speak for them, be their voice. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to look out, and I'm hoping I'll hear from someone or someone's, and I'd like to share your stories. I want to thank you all for listening, and take care. Bye now.